An unexpected intruder arrived at the castle, seeking shelter from a bitter storm.
As a token of gratitude to the prince, she offered him a rose. The prince accepted the rose, but angrily threw it on the ground and tried to kick the old woman out. The old woman was somewhat irritated and warned the prince not to judge a book by its cover, emphasizing that true beauty comes from within. However, the prince remained unmoved and continued to drive her away. The old woman picked up the rose, and suddenly her body began to transform. She turned into a breathtakingly beautiful fairy, knelt down to beg for forgiveness, but it was too late. The fairy saw that the prince had no love in his heart and punished him by turning him into a hideous beast. The servants in the castle were also transformed into various objects. The fairy left the rose behind and said that if the prince failed to find true love before the last petal fell, he would never be able to return to his original form. The fairy also erased everyone's memories of the castle and hid it deep in the forest. Years passed, and the prince had lost all hope. Who could ever love a beast? Just when he was in despair, hope suddenly appeared. An old man walked into his castle. That day, despite it being June, there were traces of snow on the ground, and snowflakes began to fall. A fierce wolf set its sights on him. A pack of wolves swarmed in, and throwing him into a valley. He couldn't control himself from sliding down, and could only just in the nick of time. The horse arrived to catch him and swiftly carried him away, with the wolf pack in hot pursuit. Suddenly, the wolf pack stopped in their tracks. They had entered forbidden territory, and the old man was finally safe. He entered a castle covered in deep snow. To keep warm, he went to the dining room and saw a table full of delicious food. Starving as he was, he couldn't resist and began to wolf down the food. Suddenly slid over and started talking.
Mom said I wasn't supposed to move because it might be scary.
The old man was scared out of his wits and hurriedly said, "It's okay," before running away. As he left the castle, he noticed a white rose blooming in the snow. He couldn't help but reach out and pick one. The old man was so frightened that he collapsed to the floor. Eventually, the old man was engulfed by darkness. The horse ran swiftly out of the ice and snow, back to the warmth of June. The old man's daughter, seeing the white horse return alone, knew that something must have happened to her. So, the white horse carried her back to the frozen land and the mysterious castle. She walked into the castle with a long and finally found her imprisoned father. Just then, the beast's voice rang out, accusing the old man of
Stole the rose.
I asked for the rose. Punish me, not him.
The beast appeared before her, looking terrifying, and Belle felt a bit scared.
Choose.
The father pleaded with Belle to leave early, but Belle pretended to agree and asked the beast to open the cell door.
When this door closes, it will not open again.
Inside the cell, the father and daughter said their final goodbyes. Belle suddenly pushed her father out and then shut the door.
He's a fool. And so are you.